low processing, and high resolution. So basically we have a 3D model of VPR in every frame. And here we utilize the 3D coordinates of his finger to activate an existing application, the tap application, right and left, click, and back. These are very simple gestures that utilize is browsing in the air, 3D browsing in the air. Second thing we're going to show here is half-body motion capture to activate the existing game. We'll see that in a second. This is a motorcycle game and is being manipulated by events generated by motion capture of upper body of the offering. We actually have the 3D coordinates of his upper body and we create computer events according to them. These are applications that were not developed specifically for 3D machine interface. So next generation applications would utilize in a far more appealing way the 3D interaction between the 3D scout and 3D model of one person, multiple people, and increase the application themselves. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks. It's really unbelievable. The other thing that I think about, just to add a little bit of humor to what we're doing here, is think about how Bluetooth changed. We would all see people in the early days of Bluetooth and we all thought that they were talking to themselves. I don't know what's going to happen a few years from now when everybody's doing this with their mobile phones or doing little dances, but that's where the world is going. With this, I want to transition, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Pico. I did want to just show you, this is the Blaze development platform that we talked about a minute ago. You can see it has multiple displays, also capable of driving an external display, the whole 3 display that you'll see in a minute. It has 2 cameras on the front to be able to do the stereoscopic capture. It has a 12 megapixel camera on the back. Has the integrated DLP projector. Again, all the sensors to allow a developer to pretty much do anything that they need to. And we'll diffuse this very, very broadly in the market to enable the next generation of applications. So I just wanted to show that, and I'm going to turn it over now to Ken Novak. He's a Senior Vice President and manages our DLP group. Here you go, Ken.
Thank you, Greg. So Pico projection is an area that's rapidly growing for us within DLP, a place where we see a lot of excitement, a lot of new products that enter the market, and really a lot of momentum as well. Last month, in January, beginning of January, we were out at CES in Las Vegas, and we had the pleasure to announce 12 new products with our customer partners, ranging 7 different product groups. All the way from mobile phones, media players, the Pico projections, the toys, docking stations, cameras. And what we're, of course, here to focus on today is what's next and what's the newest thing in actual projection and in handsets. We have the opportunity, let me talk first about a product Samsung, and they're showing this just down the aisle in this hall. So just head out here, take a left, it'll be down there on your right. But this is the Samsung Beam, right? And this is based upon our 2nd generation technology. And plenty of lumens, and I think probably the big difference that you see between the 2nd generation technology and the 1st generation technology is about twice the output, right? Twice the brightness efficiency. So the progress that we're making in that area. The second product that I'd like to talk about is from NTT Docomo. And if you just head nearly across the aisle, you'll be able to see this product as well. Slightly different approach and form factor, where that one is completely integrated, right, embedded in the phone. This one actually spreads apart, so you can take the projector, put it on the table, then use the phone portion as a remote control. Right, so it shows the versatility of the technology and where we're headed with things. Right, so those 2 new products are there. And what else we're announcing? Of getting your zoom ready. So this is the next product, the 0.2 NHD. You guys can see that. It's about, we would say, about the size of a small piece of candy. But where we're really focused with the NHD is on more value. And what we mean by that is, as compared to our 1st generation product, the NHD is about half as big. Right, or allows modules to be built that is about half as big as the 1st generation product. And in doing that, we can now be in flip phones, we can be in slider phones, and it has about the same brightness as what you saw on the WVGA that we just showed. Right? So able to hold up on the brightness, but being able to be put inside a much, much smaller package size. So this product, the NHD, is going to be shipping in production in second quarter of 2010. And so we're excited about the new opportunities that's going to enable with our customer base as well. Before I wrap up, I just want to leave you with one thought and one thing to think about. In what you've seen, what Remy talked about and Greg talked about, and what we were able to see here in the gesture technology, think about possibilities of mixing that with production, with projection, right? And the capabilities of being able to then interact with the projection technology, with gesturing, to enable all sorts of new opportunities and applications in business, inside gaming, right, social networking. So we're very, very positive on the opportunities as they go forward.
Thanks, Ken. So just a couple of comments just to build off of what Ken was talking about. Maybe one of the things that I get very, very excited about when I look at this technology, you think about some of the things that we've seen companies like Microsoft do with Xbox and the tall kinds of capability. You think about what that system is, and that's a relatively large box that sits in the front of the room. It's 10 watts of power, and it's got a ton of capability, and it probably costs $100 worth of semiconductors in that thing. The class of technology that we're talking about here is technology that can be implemented very cost effectively for these kinds of applications. These front-facing gesture technology things that we just saw, we're talking about a 2-megapixel camera, the kind of camera that's already integrated in the cell phone that's doing any kind of video conferencing capability. The stereoscopic kinds of things that we talked about, these are technologies that you're talking about a few dollars worth of additional content in terms of things like cameras, along with a great processing, low-power, high-performance engine like OMAP 4 that we can enable this class of technology. So very, very exciting. I'll leave you with a couple of points. The first is, I hope the excitement comes through. We are driving the next wave of innovation in handsets and wireless devices and mobile devices, and we couldn't be more excited about it. All of the words that you've heard here today can't do any justice to everything that you can see if you just turn around and go back through some of the demos we have here. So I encourage people to please spend some time, walk around, see what we have with the technologies, ask some of the questions, and we'll show you everything we have. I do have one thing that I think is one of the most impressive things I've seen is some of the 3D images and what that looks like. So well, here's a gentleman that I'll show to just so you can see. This is basically a 3D image that was taken and it's being displayed on just basically a normal display. You don't have to wear any glasses. There are some things that have been done to the display that we can get into, but you can see what's happening. Any thoughts about what the image looks like?
It actually looks pretty good.
All right, so everybody can see this. We can't show it to everybody, but if you turn around and go back there, we can show you all this technology. Two more things. Everybody knows who Kent is now because he stood up and presented. Everybody knows Remy, who manages OMAP. I'd like to introduce two other people. Habib Alan, if you put your hand up. Habib manages our connectivity business, and last week we introduced the Y-Link 7, which I think some people have probably seen, the integration of 4 connectivity radios onto a single chip. We got lots of things to show from a demonstration standpoint of what we're doing in connectivity. And then Brian Glinsman manages our communications infrastructure business. So if you want to talk a little bit more about some of the things we're doing there, Brian will be happy to take any questions. So with that, we'll conclude the conference, and I'll invite you to please stay and see the demos. Thank you very much.